Hey guys, um, sorry I haven't made a video in a while. Been super busy at work. I think I averaged close to 70 hours a week for the whole year. From February to mid-August, I was doing about 90 hours a week, and then from mid-August to uh, mid to late November, I was doing like 60 hours a week. So, like, no ratting in this year. Well, minimum. We got about 2,500 on the road and on trails, like on my cyclocross bikes. But yeah, just no time to do anything. So last summer, after I got a couple new bikes, I wanted to make a series showing like what I have for each bike and kind of what I have, what I run on them, just, you know, to show what works for me. And some of the interesting things that I've done, definitely not original, but things that I've found that work for me over the years. So anyways, the first bike that I like to show you is actually one of the new bikes that I got this summer. I started with the frame and then added the components and built it up. But I I took a 2019 Jake the Snake frame, which is their aluminum frame with a carbon fork, and I built it up with SRAM Rival components. And this is what its current configuration looks like. I made it up as my training bike, so I run a 40 tooth chainring with 1132 cassette. It's a medium cage clutch derailleur from SRAM, obviously. I just find with cyclocross, one buy is the way to go. Not the best cyclocross rider out there, that's for sure. But currently I have it set up with the 45 Norths. These are studded tires. They're 38 mil wide, just so I can kind of continue to get out there and ride when the weather's really shitty. We've had a lot of snow lately. Usually it's -30 though, which is too cold for snow. But I've still been able to get out for a couple rides. So I actually run, if you can see back there, those are the Shimano RT86 rotors. Yes, pretty taboo mixing Shimano and SRAM, but they're a really sturdy rotor. Got them for a pretty good price, and I've had no problems with them. They don't deflect at all, like your regular ones would that you'd get out of a single machine piece. The Spider just allows them to be a little bit thicker and more rigid, so if you do hit a branch, they don't knock themselves out. I do run on this bike as a test, just testing them out. Those are the Cool Stop brake pads. I haven't had any issues with them. Longevity, they've seemed to be holding up pretty well. As you can probably see here, I got a frame pump because I've had a couple times where I've been running just a little too much or a little too low pressures and got a pinch flat. I have switched to tubeless for off-road, but that was late in the season. But yeah, I have had a couple times using my CO2 or pinching a tube and just not having anything to inflate another 2 from someone else, or having to walk the bike home. And I've had to do that once this year, and that kind of sucked. I was probably about 15 kilometers away from Jasper, and yeah, that was a long walk back. I run a Dita Zero stem. They're pretty light, really stiff. K-Edge mount for the Garmin, and that's actually a Cat Eyes Light mount for doing darker rides later in the season. I also run the Crank Brothers Candy Pedals. For your general cross race and off-road riding, especially on a cross bike. I find they're kind of perfect. They mix lightweight with a pad to actually apply pressure on, so even if you don't get clipped in right away, you still got something to push on. I've only had one race where the candies were a disadvantage, and that was the provincial championships down in sorry, my bad, drawing a blank, Canmore, and it was super muddy. Actually, my other cross bike, it doubled its weight, and that was the typical conditions for everybody who raced. Didn't matter how heavy or light your bike was, it weighed twice as much by the end, and that was the only time when the egg beaters came in handy. And it was, luckily, race was at the end of the day, and I had a extra set. But general riding, candies are, I think, definitely the way to go. They offer you mud clearance for just your wet conditions, but when it gets to that sub-freezing level, you do want to switch out to egg beaters. But do you run a saddlebag? In my saddlebag, typically carry CO2, 2 tubes now, tire wrenches, and then a small tool. Also, I have a specialized bottle cage, and as you can kind of see, it has the SWAT tool at the very bottom. Just basic stuff. A couple Allen keys, flathead screwdriver. But yeah, this is my Jake the Snake that I've built. Next bike will be my Trek. Thanks for watching.